Thank you so much. That was such a fun project to work on. And I'm sure you agree with me that both the dancing and the videography are so beautifully done. It's such a pleasure to watch. I'd like to end off with a couple of quotes from Sharna that I haven't shared yet with anyone. I intend to post this on my blog and perhaps write some articles about it, but you're the first. This is a world premiere here. I asked Sharna a couple of questions when I was interviewing her. One of them is that I had heard her say that the follower role is more complex and difficult than the leader role. By the way, Warren Bennis, the great scholar on leadership, makes the same claim, that followership is more difficult than leadership. So I asked Sharna to elaborate on that. And here's what she said, and I'm going to comment a little bit on her quote. She said, the follower's role is more complex physically. And then she elaborated, starting with walking backwards, usually the follower is walking backwards in the dance. Then with the amount of twisting, you saw the leader, except when he lost his balance, was generally had a pretty stable stance, where the follower was doing pretty intricate weaving in and out. The distance traveled is greater for the follower because, again, the leader's in the center of the circle, the follower's on the outside, having to deal with more space. Constantly balancing on one foot as she goes through the different grapevine steps and other steps. Controlling momentum. She wants to keep the dance going fluidly, but if the momentum gets too great, she can lose her balance. And pivoting and other things make the follower role quite complex. And I think there's an analogy there with what happens in the workplace. Now, the leader's role, she says, is more complex mentally. And she gives examples. The leader has to manage many variables at once, including the dance floor space. You don't want to be crashing into the walls, which can happen. Other couples in motion, they're constantly in motion in unpredicted ways. So again, I think that's an interesting metaphor for what leaders do in other venues, where you have to constantly be adjusting your plans, your motions, your activities in relation to other groups and other leaders and followers. The musical expression, the leader has to be seeing what is special about each piece of music that he would like to bring out in the dance. The partner connection and style, the leader has to make sure that what he's asking the partner to do, the follower to do, she can do, which again is very important in all leadership. And meanwhile, improvising the dance steps and making decisions moment to moment based on all these variables. So I think that's a beautiful metaphor about how each role is challenging, and each role needs to be done with grace, with strength, and with competence. I asked her one other question that I'm going to share with you. I've heard throughout the years that from some academics and some practitioners that they don't like the term follower. They wish that we could use another term. Could we use the term collaborator or partner or associate, something like that? And I asked Sharna, is it productive from the tango viewpoint to eliminate the distinctions between the leader and follower role? This was her response. I'm going to quote this verbatim. I actually think it is super, incredible, hugely important to keep the distinction. Quite literally, without both roles, there is no dance, no life. I would say that leader and follower must collaborate and partner together, but it's impossible to eliminate the roles. They're like night and day, a natural part of our existence. So I'll leave you with that thought, and I wish you success in your dance in life, both as leader and follower, in all of the places in which you interact at home, at work, in your community service, in your communities of faith. Be a good leader, be a strong follower, and may you have much success. Thank you.